Welcome to this quick walkthrough for Sonoscore's The Orchestra. This is a full multi-assembled orchestral library with both a complex ensemble engine and single articulations for every instrument. Let's take a look at what we have here. As you open up the Instruments tab, you'll see the folders for the 5 orchestral sections and the ensemble instrument below. You will also find 3 different folders with our multi-instruments if you open up the Multis tab. We will get to all of them in time, but let's look at the ensemble patch first. The ensemble engine was designed to easily combine orchestral colors and rhythms. You can load up to 5 different instruments in independent slots and play them together. Transpose the notes from single slots, 1 or multiple octaves up or down using the octave shift. On the mixer page, you can adjust the balance and sound of the orchestra. We created a vast amount of useful presets of orchestral colors for instant access. There are 3 categories of presets available. The orchestral color presets are practical combinations of instruments that can be played live on your keyboard. The ensemble rhythms contain simple, useful playable patterns of separate sections of the orchestra that make use of our ensemble engine. The animated orchestra presets go even further and create complex orchestrated rhythms from any played note. The ensemble engine works through a number of independent arpeggiators and velocity envelopes, heavily inspired by our Sonoscore Origin series. Every slot can be assigned one of 5 different modules. Short notes can be arranged with the arpeggiators, while sustained notes can be shaped with the velocity envelope. This way, intricate and complex interlocking patterns are possible. These are not pre-recorded phrases, so it will work no matter what chord or note you play. If you want to play an augmented G7 sus 2 sharp 11, that's fine with us. Or whatever. Use the mod wheel to shape the dynamics of the pattern, for example to create a dramatic crescendo. On the engine page, you can access all individual controls for each module. For example, you can change the pattern of the arpeggiator with a rhythm stepper. The velocity envelope adds a recurring dynamic movement to a sustaining note. The animated orchestra presets were designed to sound best in the 2 octaves around the middle C. We have prepared a generous amount of animated presets to explore the engine and inspire you to original compositions. Aside from the ensemble instrument, the orchestra also contains single instrument patches for all standard sections in a symphonic orchestra. The folder for each instrument contains a number of patches. In the key switch instrument, all articulations can be played in a single patch via key switch. The key switches are consistent throughout the library, so you will always find staccato, marcato, or sustain on the same keys. We also recorded true legato transitions for intuitive legato playing. By switching between the articulations, you can achieve a higher level of realism. To achieve a certain kind of phrasing, you might want to combine different articulations. With a multi-key switch feature, you can just press multiple key switches at once to layer the articulations onto one another. This can create incredibly playable combinations. We know that some composers like to use every articulation on separate tracks. So if you want to do that, we also included single patches for every articulation. To round this package up, we created a number of multis. These take the ensemble engine even further toward instant playability and sound. There are orchestral colors multis for layered articulations that work perfectly for quick sketching and layering. Orchestral rhythms and animated orchestra multis combine multiple instances of the ensemble engine for even more complex patterns. We hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. To wrap this up, let's look at how all these features can work together. We'll start with a little pattern from the animated presets with a simple 2-chord progression. Bring in a legato horn melody and some chords using the orchestral colors presets. Add a woodwind pattern and fill it out using the multis. And now fill out with percussion, choir and heavy brass. Everything out of the box, quickly loaded and easy to use.